Welcome to episode 5. Congratulations if you made it this far. That means you love yourself. Because I do love you too, and I do appreciate you. And if you're watching these videos, I promise you it's going to be one of the better or best decisions of your entire life, and I can say that without a shadow of a doubt. I'm going to give you as much free information as I have in my brain and throw it on these videos, and all you have to do is watch them. I promise you that if you continue to stay tuned to my 6-month series, where every single day I look at SPY, because that's the only stock that I trade in terms of options, and I'm going to show you exactly how you could have traded, exactly how you could have made money, exactly how I use my 4 years of trading knowledge and my intuition, most importantly my intuition, that has been like so difficult to get. I'm going to explain it extremely clearly so you can basically skip all that suffering. If that sounds good, just continue watching my videos and that'll be that. I mean, I've been trading for about 4 years now, right? And just as complete transparency, I make some money from trading, but sometimes I do lose as well. So within the next 6 months, I will be here. Well, I'm going to be profitable, obviously, and I'm going to be increasing my contract size, because everyone knows as you increase your contract size, your emotions can get flustered, and sometimes your trading can suffer because of that. So within the next 6 months, I will become profitable, and I would love to take you guys on the journey with me, not only for myself, but so you guys can learn yourself. I understand the trading space is extremely crowded with people who are extremely deceitful. Once again, the trading industry has a lot of people who don't have the best intentions, especially for new traders. I want to be extremely clear and transparent, and I want to give you as much information as I humanly can for free. If I ever decide to charge for something, it will be for basically my time, which would be some type of, I don't even know yet. I mean, maybe a book, maybe, I don't even know. It's up in the air, but that's not important right now. How could you have understood today's action? That's why we got into this, right? So, but first and foremost, I mean, I hope that we're building a nice, a nice little bond. It's been five videos with you, and I hope that you're learning. I mean, I hope that I'm making a difference. I hope that I'm teaching you. We've already gotten so far. You already met my mother. You already see my videos. Kind of what I do, why I'm doing it. My reason why, and I would say we're basically friends by now. And I do appreciate you. I do care about you. I hope really, really good things happen to you. I hope you become profitable as well. I hope all the things you're worried about, all the things you're stressed about, all the things that are bothering you, they really do get better. And I'm only going to tell you this once. Everything is temporary, including your periods of pain and suffering and struggle. So please take it a day at a time, one day at a time, and just keep going, right? It's 9:28. I just worked, full 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is not even 9 to 5, but 9 to 5 is whenever it finishes. So I'm still out here putting out these videos for you guys because I do appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you because it's us, right? It's me and you, and I want to give you as much information as I can. So once again, I do appreciate you. I really enjoy the fact that you watch these videos. I do, I do see you, and I do hope that it can really help you, because these videos, they mean something to me, because I make these videos for myself when I was a new trader and I didn't know anything, and I was just in a world full of deceitful traders who just spew a whole bunch of nonsense and a whole bunch of BS, and then just made my trading journey a lot more difficult than it needed to be. So I want to bridge that gap and allow your trading journey to be easy and reduce the suffering, because suffering builds character, but then again, too much of it, anything in excess is harmful. So anything about struggle, anything in excess is harmful, right? Struggle is necessary to build character, but you don't want to be struggling for your whole waking life, then you just struggle and you suffer. So as you can probably tell, I will probably just rant to you again and again and again, and you're gonna love it, and I'm gonna love it too. But without further ado, let's get right into this. As you can see, we have a giant U shape over here, right? So on yesterday, I made this video. Well, I made yesterday's video. saying that we're going to hit this piece, right? We took it out just now, right? Price usually does fill these things. That's something my intuition will tell you, something you'll be able to see because I've just opened your eyes. It will fill majority of the time. If it doesn't, I'll be kind of surprised. But it's more of an understanding of how it's going to fill, right? Because you couldn't just buy puts. Unfortunately, like, you couldn't just buy puts and then make money off this, because what did the market do? So I drew this this morning when I was obviously looking at it. So in terms of market structure, we have lower high, lower low, right? So that's like what, this is yesterday, and then that's January 2nd, right? So on January 2nd, we're continuing to be bearish. We're coming down, right? Over here, the lowest piece, and then I guess you can say over here would be, so we're playing within this structure, right? Over here, we make a new lower low and a new lower high. As you can see, we're trending lower. That's what kind of why I drew these lines, so you can see them better. Then we get into today's session, which is beautiful, beautiful price action, and I would take this every day. See this big, beautiful W? This is what I'd like to see, a 15-minute W. And yes, I know what it's called, a double bottom, refusal to go lower, all these fancy terms. But for the average person who doesn't know anything, it's a shape of a W. Okay, and that's all that matters. So this is the overnight session, and this is the other overnight session. I don't really even care what they're called. It doesn't matter to me because I trade the New York session. So yes, I do know what they're called for the people who are just being weird, but it doesn't matter. So as you can see, let's zoom right into this. This was the previous low, right? We swept this piece right here, which indicated to me that we will then do some type of accumulation over here, round off, and then because we already have half of this W filled, my intuition said we will most likely fill almost the whole thing again, right? So this is where the intuition comes from. So I'm going to mark this piece off, and then we're going to go on a smaller time frame and understand what it looked like, how you can see it, and how you can interpret it, and how you can actually use it for the next few times that you trade. As you can see, we had the basically 3/4 wave W. It basically went to here and then didn't go back, didn't go up as yet, right? I'm obviously talking from when I saw it earlier, not right now. So let's zoom in on the 5-minute time frame. So as you can see, this is how it would look like in the morning, right? Once I saw these 3 initial candles move up, right? They were green candles. I put them as white because the kind of color doesn't really matter. I saw it went up. All right. I initially wanted to take out this little piece right here, this smaller W right here. And then we did, and I was like, wait, I really don't think price is going to go straight up. So I zoomed in onto the 1-minute time frame to try to look for some type of pullback. So once again, this is how it looked on the 1 minute. So this is what you would see in the morning. This is what I saw in the morning. So, oops. This is what the market looked like. I was waiting for us to do some type of pullback, right? So we made all this little piece up. We went here. I was like, cool. Should I enter? Not yet. I was like, oh, are we going to go to here? Maybe not yet. I wanted us to pull back, and we did. We pulled back right over here. 468.53. That's exactly where I got in. Got in there. I'm sorry. Got in right here. Saw refusal to go lower. I was like, great, more bullish market structure. Higher high, higher than these two. Higher low, higher high, higher low. Continue to see good bullish market structure. Then I saw, my first intuition point was to right here. So let's just let's just clear this whole thing. Beautiful. The first intuition point was right over here. Right, as you can see, the formation of a W, very clear. The next point was going to be right over here. The next point was going to be over here. Oops. Right around here, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. We don't have to be perfect. As you can see, we entered over here, 468.54. First profit target was over here, right? That was my intuition. Did I know it was going to go higher? I had a feeling, but I didn't know. But so I ended up selling over here because I'm only trading one contract at the moment. I did not hold partials because there was only one. But if you were to hold more partials, you could just sell some and then ride the rest until over here. It's important to understand that, you know, sometimes price will get to the top and be perfect and sweep this perfectly and come back down, and sometimes it won't, right? And this is the biggest concept about understanding why you should get in a trade, right? So sometimes the gripe that I have with some traders is that their entry criteria can be too extremely rigid, right? That used to be my biggest problem. I was like, oh, it needs to be like a 5-minute something. It needs to be a pattern. It needs to be this. It needs to be that. But I've realized that when I trade more intuitively, things just work out a lot better. So what can you understand from here, right? We see that price is making, you know, bearish market structure as we just went over. Price, this is somewhat of a supply zone over here. So as you can see, we went up, we came back down, then we re-entered it and sold off, right? So what does that mean? That's a favorable price for people to want to sell off to, right? I see there's liquidity. We swept this liquidity right here. Let me just draw it so you can see it. And that's why I was bullish on the day, right? Clear sweep, clear move up, 15-minute M, beautiful, beautiful price action. Refusal to go lower, right? The initial move up, the pullback, right? This is exactly what I wanted. Got it right here. Refusal to go lower. Continuation of higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? So we eventually reached to the target, right, which was this, and then the second target, which was this, right? So since we entered the supply zone, I was wondering, because the overall time frame, the overall story of the market for at least the most recent few days is we're in this massive upside down W, right? So what does that mean? Sorry, I'm still kind of new to TradingView. So as you can see, the U, like I just showed you. So price went up to this piece over here, and we had to basically mitigate this piece over here and then come back down. So this is what I was saying about how you can kind of understand what the market will do, because we understood it was going to take out the 4-hour liquidity, which is right over here. This is on the video from yesterday if you want to fact check me. So I wanted it to come here and then start going back up. But as always, they don't make it easy for you. So what did they do? They pushed the market up to get to this certain supply zone, mitigate whatever they had to mitigate, and then continued the bigger time frame, which was bearish, right? So maybe, well, definitely on the 15-minute, this was bullish because you can see this clear rounding off of accumulation. But besides the 15-minute and maybe the 30-minute, 1 hour, they did their job, and now price can do what it wants to do, and then it can go back to where it needs to, you know, hit this, satisfy this obligation of breaching the 4-hour low, 4-hour liquidity, and then we'll probably make a move up tomorrow. So that's how you can understand what we're going to do kind of intraday, while understanding what the higher time frame is saying. The higher time frame is saying is bearish, but intraday we're saying bullish until we get to a certain point. So we were bullish until we got to this certain point right here. So we did enter over here, and then you enter in for puts right here. And that's it. It's really just that simple. I'm going to show you the 1 minute time frame, right? We're going to look at it under a microscope because that's what I just kind of like to do. So we're gonna enjoy it. So let's just look at some risk to reward. Long position, got in here. Oh, I sold it right around here. The stop loss was not that big. It was 1 to 10, right? And if you continue to hold it, it would be 1 to 15, right? Beautiful. Let's just play fairly and say our stop was over here. It's still 1 to 6. It's still beautiful either way. So that's great. Then if you were to take the short position, right, you need to see that little M piece, right? Even if it's on 1 minute, yes, you need to see it, and you need to see some clear rejection on this. This is the ICT model with like the break of structure, tap into the fair value gap and move down. That's really nice, and that is very helpful. I do like to see that sometimes. Price usually does. When price usually sells off, it usually does that. So that's something that I've kind of incorporated, and I'd like to see it. It can be pretty difficult to gauge like a 5-minute break of structure, because sometimes it doesn't always happen. Sometimes, when it does happen, sometimes when it does happen, it's great, but sometimes it just kind of sells off like it did here. If you look at this on the 5-minute chart, like we will pull up, you're not going to get a good entry. So this is 1 to 6 again, right? This is me like extending my stop loss. My stop loss would not be this big. My stop loss would be like this, right? And let's just say we're not catching the whole move. If we caught it up to here, that's still a 1 to 8, and that's like not the whole move. You caught it down to here, it's still 317. The market's still open. It's a 1 to 11, right? It's beautiful. So about 1 to 6s on both. If you accumulate, if you use a stop loss that's bigger. Beautiful trades either way. Let's get right into what we're going to do tomorrow. So let me clear this real quick. You like that ASMR action, right? So the weekly looks a bit bearish. I mean, not completely bearish, because if you take equilibrium, it'll probably still somewhat be around maybe 440, right? We would need to see like a real drop down, but it's a good indication that this could just be somewhat of a healthy pullback, right? Which is needed, right? We went from 412 to 480. Like a pullback is necessary for us to sustain a healthy trend. So I wouldn't be very surprised if the market does drop. We drop from 477 to 467. I assume price will come lower to at least 450. Then it can decide to do what it wants to. It will either do something like this to like 450, come back into the top, which it will most likely will do something like this, confuse everyone. Then it will either go up like this as we take off, this high over here. Because we do need to satisfy this. So I would say we are in longer term bullish, but as we know, the higher time frames serve as merely a guide, right? We want to be aligned with them when we can, but sometimes it's not always that easy. You can see on the daily time frame, there's a bit of an M structure, right? We filled the whole thing. We went back to this 4-hour level right here. We swept it, so I'm expecting this to come back up at least to maybe 470, maybe 472, 473. Just eyeballing like 50%. So like that'll be a top, that'll be 0. So there'll be 0, 100. Somewhere in the middle here would be like 472, 473. No hard targets, but somewhere around there. I mean, as long as we can get a general understanding of what's going on. So the daily is bearish. This, I don't like this candle. This is like a sell-off candle over here. Yeah, I don't like that. But once again, we just swept liquidity, so I expect more to make some type of move up. 3 hour. As you can see, it's a lot more clearer, the M from the daily time frame. Right, so we just swept here. I'm looking to see some sort of a rounding again. Somewhat of a rounding, and then there is a little gap right here at 474. And there is a little gap over here too. A little imbalance action, if you will. So I could see price coming to either one of these two zones, right? And it can either do something like this, where it comes to the top like this, comes down like this, come back like this, and then come back down like this, and then hit this piece over here. And then we can, if we decide to go bearish, then we would have a real reason to go bearish. Or we can just continue to go up like this and then do something like that and then hit that target, right? We don't know, and anyone who's telling you they know, they're a liar, okay? They're a liar. All we can do is understand what's going on an intraday basis and use the higher time frames as guides. So let's go to the 2 hour, and then go to the 1 hour. As you can see, formation of a W, right? Now, I like to see a rounding of this. I like to see somewhat of a U shape here to develop, and then kind of follow the pattern that I just kind of outlined. Because this could easily turn into a bear flag, kind of like that, bear flag action, then drop down. So once again, we don't know, right? But all we can do is do our analysis, wait for the next morning and see what price is giving us, and then take a trade and make money. That's it, really. So lower low, lower high, 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 right? Very, very bearish market structure. Finally flip this, right? So I want to see what the 30 minute is doing, right? I want to see the formation of a U shape, run back to here. I would love to see us sweep out. Ew. Let's get rid of that. Then all we're gonna do now is let's try not too messy. Let's remove all drawings. And let's see if where these imbalances are. Definitely over here, that 474 range. And then there was another one like over here-ish. Right. So now I'm gonna mark out 15-minute liquidity, and that'll be the end of that. Oh, I forgot trading view isn't like TOS. TOS is like so good, but this is also so good because I really like the long and short feature. Yeah, that's it. I wait for this piece to go down, below it, accumulate, run back up, or for this piece to run to the top and then distribute and come down. That simple. Right, if you've stayed tuned to me this far, we're basically friends. We're basically like besties right now. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.